Hi guys, and welcome to this MyChi video. Today I'm going to talk to you about the ego and why it's so important to know your own ego. So if you're in a place where you feel depressed, you've got bad habits that you just can't seem to beat, or you want to turn your life around to something better, then you should stay tuned and find out why it's important to know your own ego. So first off, I want to say thank you for clicking onto this video. I really hope that what I have to share with you today is something that you can find useful on your path of self-healing. And this is one of my first videos, so bear with me if I'm making some mistakes. I will get better. So first off, I want to tell you why this was an important lesson for me. Because I used to be depressed, I used to be stressed out, I was in a black hole. And the way I got out of this black hole was to learn about the ego. It is really, really important because this is like the child inside of us, our own inner child, and it can make so much damage in our lives. And if we're unaware of it, if we don't even know that it exists, then we can't really do anything about it. So, to start off, I'm going to tell you when the ego is born. Someone used to ask me this question, and I was actually thinking about it for a while. And the ego is born with us. When we're in our mother's womb, we're all protected. It's warm, it's soft, we've never been injured, we've never been ridiculed, we've never felt anything bad happen to us. We can hear our mother's voice, we can feel her heartbeat, and everything is just safe. And then the time comes where we will be born. And this will be the first trauma in our lives. Because it is terrifying when you don't know how it feels to feel pain. It's painful to get born. And you can feel your mum's distress. She might be screaming, and when you come out, sorry about the dog. When you come out to this world, everything is terrifying, like completely terrifying. You have to open your eyes and you have to see this world for the first time. You have to feel the air on your skin. You have to sense these new smells, and you feel very, very vulnerable. You feel terrified. And what can you do? You're a baby. You can't really do much. You can't get up and run. You can't fight back. And our instinct tells us that you have to do something, or else you might get eaten by a predator, that it's dangerous for you to be so vulnerable. So, what do? You scream. Because that's the only thing you can do as a baby. You scream. And you'll get picked up and you'll get put on your mum's chest mostly, or your dad's, and you'll feel safe and protected again. You can hear someone's heartbeat, you can feel the warmth, someone is holding you, and you feel a bit safe, like lying inside of the womb, and you get calmed down. And this will be the first lesson of the ego as well, because it figures out that attention equals protection, which means I'm not going to die. And this is a very important lesson, and this is what the ego will live for the rest of its life and for the rest of your life. And you could say to start with that it's actually a pretty good thing, because if we lived in nature, which we used to do, it was important to be protected, or else you would die. It was important to get attention. It was important to be a part of a pack, because it meant you were not going to die. So, you've gotten born, you're on your mum's chest, and now everything is safe. And from there on, you keep learning lessons of how to get attention, how to get your needs met. When you're hungry, you scream, you get fed. When you've pooped your diaper, then you scream and someone will come and change you. And when you get older, you figure out, because you can't tell anyone what it is that you want, so you have to scream to start with, and someone will come and fulfill your needs. And it means attention, which means protection, which means I'm not going to die. So what does it mean later on in our lives? What is it that the ego really does? Okay, so I'm going to give you an example, and it's going to be a classic example. So if you are abused as a child, very bad case, you are sexually abused. You don't get any attention from your parents when you do something good, then the ego will very quickly learn that it doesn't really matter that I do anything good, because I'm not going to get the attention. And because protection, because attention means protection, you will do anything to get just any sort of attention, which means you will willingly get abused. And when you then grow up, let's say you're a woman, and you grow up with this abuse, you will at some point leave your parents, but because your ego is hardwired to think that negative attention means that I'm going to be protected, which means I'm not going to die, you will seek out this abuse in other people. So you might get an abusive husband, or you might get friends that take advantage of you, or you might even meet random men who you willingly let abuse you. As an adult, you know that this is not right, because you've learned a lot of lessons in your life as well, and you know that this is not normal. But you can't seem to beat it. And even though you might actually get a boyfriend who is actually really good for you, who treats you well, who doesn't abuse you, the ego will be scared. The ego will not feel safe, because it knows that I need to get abused. This is what I'm used to. This is what I grew up with. This is what I know. So I need this man to abuse me. Hi, dog. I need this man to abuse me, because then I will feel safe. So you will do anything in your power to make this man abuse you. So you will create conflict. You'll create fights. You might cheat on someone to get this anger going in him, so he will abuse you, so you will feel safe. And it's not logical. It's not logical at all. It's emotional. And this is a pattern that is in all of us. Not necessarily with abusive parents. It can also be you've been good all your life because your parents appreciated that you did things good. Then you might grow up becoming a pleaser because you figure out that doing something good for others is going to give you attention, which means you're going to survive. So it doesn't really matter where you come from or who your parents are or if you had parents at all. We can't run away from the fact that we have an ego. Everyone has an ego. And for some people, the ego creates more problems than for others, but the fact is that we all have an ego. And it's shaped mostly in our childhood, and it's shaped around our family, our friends, our whole community. And this ego learns basically how to get attention. Because attention means protection, which means survival. And this is why it's important to know, if you want to change your life around, you have to know where all your bad habits come from. You have to figure out why I keep choosing abusive men, or why my relationships just never seem to work, or why I drink too much, or why I'm overweight. If we can't get down to this fundamental fact that we have an ego and that the ego wants its ways, then we can't change our lives. Or it will be very difficult and we will usually fail over and over and over again because we can't see what is behind it all. And the ego is behind it all. And this is why I turned my life around when I found out that I had an ego. I was kind of aware of it before, but I didn't know how great an impact it had on my life, how much the ego was controlling my life. And it's the same for everyone. So this is why learning about the ego was so important to me, because I suddenly knew what was behind all of my bad decisions and all of my bad habits in life. And I can really recommend you to just research a lot about the ego. Like read books, read online, watch YouTube videos, just suck in all of the knowledge that you can get about the ego, because it really will create a great foundation for turning your life around. I will also in the future make some more videos about the ego and about how to talk to your inner child and peel off some layers to get to that core. Thank you very much for watching. It's been a pleasure talking to you today, and I'm looking forward to making more videos for you. Ciao!